Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Tipti Kulkarni, lecturer, Department of Physics, KLS Kokte PU College, Belgavi. In continuation with my earlier video on 4th chapter motion in a plane, this is my 4th lecture from the same chapter. In this video, I am going to discuss few concepts which are based on scalars and vectors, okay, and a small derivation, okay. Now, let us understand first scalar product of two vectors or dot product of two vectors. How to add the vectors we have learnt in the previous video. Okay, we cannot add the vectors directly because we know that vector quantities are having some special features. Like we cannot add them. Why? Because they are having direction along with the magnitude, as well as vector quantities have to obey some vector rules. So we cannot take the algebraic sum of the vectors. We have the permission to take the algebraic sum of the scalars, not for vectors. Okay. Now, how to multiply the vector quantities or the scalar quantities? What are the rules which we have to learn in this video? Scalar product is also called a dot product. Both meanings are same. Scalar product of two vectors is defined as the product of the magnitudes of the two vectors and cosine of the smaller angle between them. Okay, this is a vector and this is another vector. So we can call it as this is A, vector A, this is vector B. Between these two, whatever the angle we mention, that is nothing but theta. Okay, if A and B are the vectors, if A is also vector, B is also vector. Okay, vector symbol we have to show with the arrow. This is arrow. Okay, are the vectors acting at a point at an angle of theta, then A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. AB cos theta. What we have to write? AB cos theta. We have to remove that dot and write cos theta. Okay. Suppose if we are writing for the work done, W is equal to F dot X. W is equal to F dot X. X is what? X is displacement. F dot X. Then what we have to write to remove this dot? To remove that dot, we have to add cos theta. So W is equal to F into X into cos theta. Okay, where F is the force, okay, and X is what? X is the displacement and theta is the angle between F and X. Okay, so X is the displacement here. Next one, vector product of two vectors or cross product. Okay, vector product is defined as the product of the magnitude of two vectors and sine of the smaller angle between them. Again, suppose if we consider the two vectors, okay, so here vector A and B, okay, then the vector product is defined as what? Product of the magnitudes of the two vectors and sine of the smaller angle between them. If A and B are the two vectors acting at a point at an angle theta, then A cross B is equal to AB sine theta into n cap. N cap is nothing but, so this is n cap. We have to show this cap. Okay, n cap is nothing but it is a normal. Normal means perpendicular line which is drawn to the particular surface. Why we have to study this normal? Already we discussed in the previous video. Please go through that. Okay, I will not repeat once again in this. So already we have learnt what is a normal and why we have to study the normal as well as the unit vector. Of course, this is also unit vector. The value is 1. Everything we discussed in the last video. Okay, where n cap is a unit vector here, or we can say that it is a unit vector or a normal. Okay. Example, linear velocity. V is equal to vector V is equal to vector omega into cross omega r, vector r. Okay, where r is the radius of the vector and omega is the angular velocity, and theta is the angle between r and omega. Okay. Suppose if it is a cross product or the uh, vector product, how we have to write? A cross b is equal to what? Is equal to ab sin theta. If it is a scalar or a dot product, a dot b is equal to ab cos theta. This is the procedure of writing the product symbol or the multiplication of the two vectors. Next one, resolution of vector. Okay, it is the process of splitting a vector into two or more parts. A vector can be resolved into infinite parts in any direction. The resolved parts are called components of that vector. So one vector, if it is splitted into two vectors, suppose here if I consider this is a vector A, this is splitted into two rectangular components, that is AX and AY. Along x-axis it is called a AX, this vector is along y-axis, that is the reason AY. So this is about the resolution of vector. This vector A is splitted into two components. One is AX, another one is AY. Okay. Rectangular components, if the vector is resolved along two mutually perpendicular directions, then the components are called rectangular components. We discussed about this in the previous video. So whenever we draw the two vectors perpendicular in the perpendicular direction, okay, then where is the resultant vector? Always at a diagonal side. Or okay, or the where we are expecting the resultant vector, we are always expecting the resultant vector at diagonal side or at bisector side. Okay, so this we know. So in the reverse way, suppose if we consider using this vector, we can construct two more vectors, that is AX and AY. Using A, we can construct AX and AY. Okay. Now based on this, we are going to learn expression for rectangular components of a vector. So this is about the diagram. So I can call it as this is A, this is B, and this is D. Okay. Now ABCD is a rectangular. Next, from the figure, AD is what? AD is AX. And what about AB? AB is AY. So AB is equal to AY, AD is equal to AX. They are the rectangular components along what? OX and OY respectively. From triangle ADC, means which one? ADC, ADC, ADC. From this triangle, right angle triangle. From the right angle triangle, what is sine theta? What is sine theta? Is it not this DC divided by hypotenuse? DC means opposite side here. Suppose if we consider this is angle theta, okay, this is a right angle triangle. So from this, what is sine theta? Is it not DC divided by AC? So DC by AC, because we know that sine theta is opposite upon hypotenuse. What is DC and AC? DC is here, AY, because opposite sides are equal. Okay, here also it is AX. Okay. So AY divided by AX. Okay. Sorry, not AX. This is A. AX up AY upon A. Okay. Sin theta is equal to AY upon A. Or multiply this. What is AY? AY is equal to A into sin theta. Okay. So AY is the magnitude of A along y-axis. From triangle ADC, what is cos theta? From the same triangle, what is cos theta? Is it not AD divided by AC? So AD divided by AC. Okay, it is AD by AC, not DC here, misprinted. Okay, AC. Okay, so cos theta is equal to AX upon A. Substitute the value of AD and DC, then how much we will get? Cos theta is equal to AX upon A. Then cross multiply this, how much we will get? For AX, AX is equal to A into cos theta. Okay, so this is about what? AY component, AX component. So we can search the magnitude now. From triangle ADC, we know the Pythagoras theorem, AC square is equal to AD square plus DC square. Go through the diagram. From this triangle, AC square is equal to AD square plus DC square or CD square. Okay. Now we know what is AD and DC. Substitute the value of AC, that is A, okay, and AX square, AY square. Then what is A? A is equal to square root of AX square plus AY square. So this is about resolution of vector. So this is the magnitude of the two vectors. So this expression is important. So you have to remember this. Next one, motion of a body in a plane. Plane means what? XY. XY. Okay, X axis, Y axis. Means two dimension here. So now what is displacement vector? It is the directed line segment between the initial and the final positions of the particle. This is what? This is a displacement vector, initial and final. Okay. So in this way we can say displacement vector. Means it is a directed segment between initial point to final position of the particle. Okay. Importance of the displacement vector. It gives the straight line distance between two positions of the particle. It gives the direction in which the particle is moving. Okay. So these are the two importance of the displacement vector. Okay. Next one, projectile motion. The terms which are related to projectile motion. Projectile means what? It is a body thrown into space and allowed to fall freely under gravity. Example, a shot put thrown by an athlete, a javelin thrown by an athlete. Okay. So these are the best examples for the projectile motion. In the next slide, I will show you the video how actually the projectile motion is formed. Projectile motion means it is the motion associated with the body thrown into space and allowed to fall freely under gravity. Velocity of a projection. It is the velocity with which the body is projected into space. Angle of projection. It is the angle between the horizontal surface and the direction of the projection of the body. Next one, trajectory of a projectile. It is the path traced by the body during its motion. It is the path traced by the body by the body. Okay. During what? Here body word is there missing. Okay. Body during the motion. Okay. So these are the definitions which you have to remember. Okay. These are very, very important definitions. You have to mug all these definitions. Okay. Now where we see such type of projectile motion, where we experience the path traced by the projectile motion is called what? Trajectory. So this is what? This is the path traced by the projectile. So here this is a Cannon example. You can see the Cannon example. So this is the path, parabolic path. Whatever we are observing, that is nothing but trajectory. Okay, this is about the cannonball. Okay, shot from the cannon. This is a good example for the projectile motion. And you just go through this video. Carefully see here. Once again I will show you. See the projectile motion. Okay, the path you observe here, that path is like this. Is it not a parabolic? Okay, so this is a good example for the projectile motion. Next one. So this is also one more example. So the forward velocity. Okay, so here also you can see this path. Okay, so this path shows what? Projectile motion path. Okay, trajectory. If this is a good example for the when we increase the height, then what will happen to the distance? If we throw a stone or the ball from this origin, then if the distance is increasing, this distance along x-axis. If the distance is increased here, then uh, what will be the height? Of course, height goes on decreased here. Just carefully see, the distances are more but height is less. If distance between here from O to this along x-axis any point, if distance is less, height is increasing. See here, height is increasing. How the height and the distance along x-axis both are related, we come to know this from this. Okay. Next one, this is again for the projectile motion. So this is the pattern of the trajectory where we observe if javelin throw, in the javelin throw, or if we observe the kicking of the football or the fountain, there we come across this projectile motion. There we observe in our day-to-day life, we observe projectile motion. And trajectory means the parabola which is formed during that motion, that is nothing but trajectory. So this is about the projectile motion and the trajectory. And here whatever angle is made by the body, that is called angle of projection. Angle of projection, which we discussed in the definition side. No, we discussed that is called angle of projection. So this is about the brief introduction about the projectile motion. I hope you understood this. If you need further question and answers from the 4th chapter, please go through the link given below. Thank you.